bem? We've got a nice cold Portugal hoje. We've got neve in the mountains, and we're all feeling a little bit frio. Let's do some vocabulario to take our minds off things today. And this week I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to put all of the vocabulario together rather than doing 3 podcasts as I've done in the previous weeks. So let's start off talking about the beginners. At the end, I'm going to talk a little bit about a free chat group thing I'm setting up next week. Okay, but first of all, I'll talk about the vocabulary. So for the beginners, some vocabulary for beginners here. Talking about work, we might want to talk about the work we do or ask other people about work they do. So this time, rather than just words, we've got little phrases. And I'm a huge fan of learning phrases because this having these what's called lexical chunks of vocabulary are very handy because we can put these chunks together to make correct sentences and not need to worry about too much about the grammar in making sentences. And that's what we don't want to overwork ourselves when we're at the beginning of learning. So learning these chunks means we're learning it all complete with everything that we need. So here we go, let's start. O que faz? What do you do? Sou reformado means I'm retired. This would be for a man, reformado, a reformed character, I like to say. Sou reformada is I'm retired. This is for a woman with the A on the end. If you've got a job, we could have trabalho or emprego. Emprego, like employment. And this could be tempo inteiro, the time all of the time, full time. Or I'm part-time. Just stolen the English word there. Okay, so say it with a Portuguese accent. Part-time. Okay. And if you like your job, gosto. Gosto is I like. I like it a lot. Gosto muito. And gosto is a word that likes to be followed by the word de. So gosto muito de. If you want to say I like my job a lot, gosto muito do meu emprego. Gosto muito do meu emprego. So this is another good thing about learning the chunks, is we learn how to slide all the words together so they become natural, joined together speech rather than the separate words so you sound like a computer. If you're looking for work, I'm looking for work. Estou, I am, à procura de, looking for, estou à procura de emprego. Estou à procura de emprego. Okay, so we're using this word emprego quite a lot in these phrases. You might be a waiter. You might want to say, I work as a waiter. Trabalho, I work. Trabalho como empregado de mesa. So work as an employee of table. Trabalho como empregado de mesa. It's a good phrase. So this phrase, we could switch around. Trabalho como and then add in another job. So these are, I like to say, plug and play phrases. We put the beginning in and then we can plug in different endings. And we know we've got it correct. So learning an example is really good. If someone was fired, my friend was fired. O meu amigo foi despedido. O meu amigo foi despedido. Okay, despedir can also mean goodbye. So he was said goodbye to. Yeah. And if you want to apply for a job, you might need to fill in an application form. So preencher impresso de candidatura. Preencher, fill in. You can use that in many situations, filling in things. Impresso is the form de candidatura, of candidating yourself. Okay. So there we go. For the beginners, we've got o que faz, sou reformado ou sou reformada, o emprego de tempo inteiro, o emprego em part-time, gosto muito do meu emprego, estou à procura de emprego, Trabalho como empregado de mesa. O meu amigo foi despedido. Preencher o impresso de candidatura. Okay, there we go. Now, moving on to the level 2 elementary phrases for the week. And again, we're looking at phrases, not just words this week. And we're talking about free time, things that we like to do in our free time here. So just a few phrases here then. So we're starting off with the question, what is it that? Which a lot of people struggle with the pronunciation here. We've got I'll do it this way. O que que. O que que. 4 words. And o que que. O que que. So I often say this sounds like the word cake if you've got a strong northern English accent. Cake. O cake. O cake. Okay, so what is it that? Okay. You do in your free time. Faz no tempo livre. Faz no tempo livre. You do in your or the free time. Tempo livre. Livre here means free, like vacant, not free like no money. That's grátis. I really like. So you say I like a lot. So gosto muito. We had this just before, didn't we? Gosto muito. If I'm talking about playing or doing sports, we tend to say praticar desporto. Praticar desporto. Okay. So pronunciation here, remember, words that begin with DES, desculpe, desporto. That DES is a very soft part of the word there. Okay, so keep it soft like that. Whenever I can is a good phrase. Whenever I can. Literally, you say always that I can. So sempre que posso. Sempre que posso. Sempre que posso. Sempre que posso. Your favorite sport? You would say your sport preferred. So o teu desporto preferido. O teu desporto preferido. So if you don't just like something but you love it, adoro, adoro, I love. And after that, you just put the action in the infinitive. For example, nadar, to swim, becomes swimming. So I love swimming. Adoro nadar, adoro nadar. Or you might want to talk about something else, like playing golf. Jogar golf, jogar golf. Okay, so the phrases for this week are o que. Can you get that right? O que faz no tempo livre? Gosto muito. Praticar desporto. Sempre que posso. O teu desporto preferido? Adoro nadar. And jogar golf. Okay, are you getting the pronunciation nice there with those? Okay then. And now for the more advanced, intermediate and above learners, this week I've got a set of words which are called collocations. Collocations is what we talk about in language when we have one word that goes automatically with another word, often a verb and an action. Okay, so for example, in English, we say to have a coffee. I'm going to have a coffee. Okay, but in Portuguese, you say take a coffee, tomar café, or beber café, drink a coffee. So it's not always exactly the same word here that we use. This is where where I was talking with the beginners about the chunks, the vocabulary chunks. Learning the whole phrase rather than the individual words is very useful. But when you get to the intermediate level and above, it's very useful to really pay attention to this and think about this particular verb or word likes to go with a certain set of situations that are not necessarily the same in English or another language. So this is an area where that's nice to study. Okay, so here I'm starting with some easy ones, and then some of them are quite challenging here. So to say take photographs is tirar fotografias. Take is always a bit of a tricky word in Portuguese. It could be tomar, tirar, or other words. Apanhar o metro catch or take the metro. Okay, for transport, we often use the word apanhar, which also can be used for picking fruit. Apanhar azeitonas, for example. Tomar comprimido, take a tablet. So here we've got take, in this case meaning consume, like I said earlier about having a coffee. So the consumption take, that's always with tomar in Portuguese. Now getting a bit trickier. Prestar atenção. Prestar atenção. Pay attention. Okay, you don't use that word prestar a lot. Maybe não presta, it's not worth anything. Levantar voo. We'd say take off. The plane takes off. Lift flight. Levantar voo. Okay. Sometimes we say descolar, unglue. I love that expression, descolar, as well. Assumir a responsabilidade. Take responsibility. So assume responsibility in Portuguese. Sofrer desgosto. To have something bad happen. Okay, to suffer like a disgrace or something bad. Sofrer desgosto. Pedir empréstimo is to ask for a loan. And abrir uma exceção is to make an exception, open an exception in Portuguese. And tomar uma decisão, make a decision or take a decision. Okay, so let's go through them again. Tirar fotografias, apanhar o metro, tomar comprimido, prestar atenção, levantar voo, assumir a responsabilidade, sofrer desgosto, pedir empréstimo, abrir uma exceção, and tomar uma decisão. Okay? Which ones of these did you not know? Which are new? Challenge yourself to try and use it this week. Or think about sentences that you could use that word, that phrase in. Okay, so that's it for the vocabulary this week. And as I promised, I'm going to talk to you about the chat groups that I'll set up next week. So we're all at home, estamos todos em casa at this time. So I thought, why not take advantage of this and maybe take a little bit of the boredom away by meeting up online and chatting to others in Portuguese. So rather than it just being a random group of everybody all together and not knowing what we're going to talk about, this is going to be free, by the way. It's going to be divided into 3 levels. So the beginners or near beginners, elementary, those of you in the middle of your learning, and the intermediate and higher up learners who are really pushing on for fluency. So I'm thinking three different groups. And if you want, I've got a PDF with a self-assessment, very simple few questions that should help you decide which group would suit you. Now, it's going to be using the Zoom platform where we can all meet together. And the reason why I'm choosing this platform is because we will not spend the whole time as a large group talking together, because as you know, a large group, you won't get much chance to talk, really. So we'll, after a brief chat together to answer any questions, I'll divide everybody up into groups of 2, perhaps 3 people, and then in your small group, you'll have an individual room where it'll just be you and one other person to chat to. Okay, so that way you'll get to talk a lot more. And to give it a bit of structure, for each group, I'll set up maybe 4 or 5 questions. Sorry, going hoarse from talking so much. And then you can, if you want, talk about those questions. So you can prepare something before, or just talk off the cuff, or talk about anything that you want to. Okay, there in the groups. Like I said, this is free to sign up for. It will be a lot more fun if quite a lot of people are involved, because what I'd hope to do is in these half-hour sessions, you'd have opportunity to talk in 2 different groups. So you'd spend 10 minutes talking to one person and 10 minutes talking to someone else there. But we'll see. We can be flexible. If you'd like to sign up, then send me a message. I'll put a form up in the next few days where people can sign up for this, and I'll put up the links and everything for Zoom there. Okay, so that's it for this week. Have a boa semana, take care, and see you na próxima semana. Ciao, ciao!